Yeah, so I joined the seminary year 2000, and then thanks be to God that with God's grace and mercy, I became God's priest in year 2010. And then my first assignment was St. Mary Cathedral, downtown Austin. And I was a parochial vicar for 2 years over there, and then my major work over there was taking care of the liturgy with the supervision of Father Albert, who was my rector, the pastor. And I also support the liturgical matter with Bishop Joe. I was a bishop's MC at the rectory, at the cathedral. And then also I engaged a lot with the young adults. So I led some walks with the young adults. So I learned a lot about what they are struggling with and how they are living in this world and that kind of stuff. And then my second assignment was Saint John in San Marcos. That was quite interesting. Now you can see I do not speak Spanish well. Muy poco hablo español. But that's the moment that I really understood the immigrants, the people who are speaking Spanish and Hispanic culture. I learned a lot, and also I did a lot of funerals there, and I did a lot of anointing because nearby the church there was the hospital there. So that was the moment that I really engaged the culture. At the same time, I was doing a lot of catechism. So I organized adult continuation program. So once a month we had a lecture series, and then also we developed a continuous catechetical programs for adults. So I was involved then. I heavily involved this. And then also I was a full-time youth minister over there at St. John San Marcos. It was quite challenging, and then I still believe that I could do better, but it was a really good experience. First assignment in adults. Now I understood a lot of high schoolers, their struggles and their hope and dream. So it was very good. Yes, and so after that, and I became a pastor at Christ the King in Belton. So that was a leap, so if you will. So from parochial vicar, associate pastor to pastor, taking care of, I would say almost like 2,600 families. I might be wrong, but and then so taking care of them spiritually, and also I run the parish. So first thing I did was I did a lot of internal organization. The AC broke down, and the water was leaking, so I had to take care of the buildings. At the same time, I was hoping to bring more adult catechisms and adult programs. So, with the help of DRE and adult formation supervisor, we developed many adult programs. We heavily used the Ascension Press program, but nonetheless, there was a cohesive, ongoing program for adults. Also, our youth ministry programs, and also we have university nearby there, the University of Mary Hardin Baylor. From there, campus ministry was enhanced. A lot of things. It was my first assignment as a pastor. I truly enjoyed being there. I'm sure the people suffered because of me, but nonetheless, I'm glad that that community was part of my life. Yes. While I was serving as a pastor over there, I heard that my mother had a terminal cancer. I was not quite sure what to do about it. And I was away from my home almost 20 years. Although I went back and visited my parents from time to time, but it was very short time, perhaps less than 3 weeks. So since I was away from my parents so long, I asked God what to do, and then God gave me a clear direction that I need to be with my parents. So I requested leave of absence from ministry, and then Bishop Joe granted me to spend the time with my parents. It was not an easy decision to make, because I had my spiritual family, Christ the King community, and I feel as if I abandoned them. But it was a fruit out of my discernment, and I believe that it was a right choice to do so. And God really gave me a lot of blessings on that decision. Yeah, the blessing was I took care of my parents. My father has the very severe Parkinson disease. It's not a Parkinson, it's kind of sister of Parkinson, but nonetheless, my father has been suffered with that for almost 15 years. So my mother was a caregiver for my dad, and then my mother got terminal cancer. So, and my sister and my brother, both of them are working. So I took that role as a full-time giver for my both parents. It was blessing. I mean, now I understand what it means to be with people who face death. I've been a priest and celebrating so many funerals, but now I think I can connect myself with all those people, especially all those whose beloved one passed away. So, and also my mother, she was a woman of faith, and she really passed away peacefully and quietly, and that was a grace from God. And also, I had a little issue with my dad. Everybody has an issue with dad anyway, right? But I reconciled with my dad a lot of things. So, entire year, I truly believe that God sent me there for my own growth, and I'm happy that I did. And now, because of that, now you have me.